All right, we finally have some Shaddoll action. So Refined Gaming over the weekend ran their double case tournament. We're actually going to be looking at the 7 p.m. case tournament for you guys today for your breakdown. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, little bit of interesting details about this event. Shaddoll actually had a very surprising top 8 finish, which I think is wonderful. I love that Shaddolls are now an actual rogue deck within the format. You're going to hear a lot of people complaining that, window ruined my weekend and, all sorts of things like that. It is a little bit late. I'm not going to, totally take that away from the scene, but I think it's cool that we finally have Shaddoll access. Now, we did have the meta present. I mean, we had double cool tune, double branded. These are very, very, very easily the big challengers in the room. And they're going to continue to be, the big decks you kind of got to step over. Actually, winning our event was actually Doom Z. I'm not really surprised to see Doom Z kind of doing its thing. This deck actually has a lot more gas underneath its hood than I think a lot of players really give it credit for. We also had Elf Notes having a special finish here, which is kind of nice. I mean, we're still pre-Chaos Origins, but, we're inching along to getting to the new meta. And we actually got to see some Malice action within this event. Malice has been holding on very, very strongly. The deck has had to undergo some good evolution right now, but it has a lot more tools coming in the future that I think are going to sway the deck building process a lot, and it's going to swing that pendulum to allow that deck to be a lot better. But overall, looking at your top cut here, you have a lot of good challengers within the room, and we are actually getting to see some variety form within the cube of the meta, which is really, really nice. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. All right, so starting things off here, we get to see the Doom Z doing its thing. Now, honestly, when you start to get into the mind structure of this deck, a lot of the formations are going to look the same. Obviously, one Medius with the one power patron, but obviously, you're just going to upgrade into Jerpedo, and then Jerpedo's job is just kind of do everything you want. Obviously, having access to one Vidodium with the triple extra gas here. It is going to just do everything that you want it to do. Honestly, I think this deck is one of the scariest versions around because you just can kind of OTK out of nowhere. You have the trap card to grind out the opponent. We do get to see access into things like the Solemn Accusations for more of the grind game. You have a pretty strong tool set of things available to you here to assist you in actually getting things going. So I like that a lot. Also, Merrymaker and Sargass for the Thurion is absolutely ridiculous, and it's pretty comical at this point, honestly. Next up, we get to see probably the beginnings of the Doom Z hype train as it kind of comes out of nowhere here and does its thing. Now, I will say, in terms of how this deck's working, I've only seen 1 to 2 variants playing the overtuning from this set. It looks like a lot of players are just they're looking to explore Duelist Genesis more so as the searcher for the deck, which is, I guess, understandably so. Because, unlike the other spell card, you have to have one on the field. This one can just have it on the field or graveyard to be able to bridge. And we are seeing the Fallen and the Virtuous taking hold here. I think this is going to be a pretty common thing going forward that you're going to be seeing within these decks, because, this now provides you an answer for the mirror match. That's not something that we originally thought we were going to see when this deck first started things off. You saw this card having problems in the mirror, but now we can just pop it off with this and go. Next up, we get to see the additional Cool Tune deck, and you are going to notice that both of these lists we're actually choosing to play the effect veilers in the deck to grind out more of the opponent, which is not bad. Also, yes, Harmonia is such a good card in here. You're also going to notice this list bumped down to 1 Duelist Genesis, which I think is fine. I've also heard people wanting to play the second copy of JJ just for if the opponent actually has an answer to it. But honestly, at this stage, is it really even worth it? I think you want everything to be as consistent as it can. Also, we do have the Cool Tune playlist in the side deck. We have the reframing in the side deck. Both of the The standard powerhouse trap cards that you'll be able to build in are here. Also, Prohibition. Yeah, this card gets pretty nasty, man. Being able to spot removal, take care of problems, is by far probably one of the best tools that you can have access to. Thanks, Prohibition. Next up, we get to see the Elf Note gang. And yes, Elf Note is taking advantage of the Fallen of the White Dragon and the Incredible Ecclesi. This is a pretty common duo right now, man, because getting access into, you know, the little things you've got here, but also, you know, turning into the Fallen and Virtuous access is pretty strong. Once again, I mean, Fallen and Virtuous is just the symptom maker of the format, right? Like, this card's job is to make the format, you know, have problems or solutions. It's crazy because I think this card actually does both. I hope you're ready for Altar 2027. But anyway, Elf Notes, 2 Medius, I think is fine. We are going with the standard pendulum scales spells, going with 1/1 on these. Obviously, when we get June Pride, I think the deck will extend out a little bit more and be able to do things. Also, that is Hyper Librarian down there. That's kind of cute. Interesting. Next up, we get to see some Branded action, and Branded is choosing to play the Tri-Brigade Spriggans kit. I do love that this card has been a pretty fun addition to the deck, really helping you out. Still Gold Sarcophagus and the McCourier still being probably one of the best searchers that your deck can have access to. We are going with 2 Blazing Cartesia. I like this a lot. I think that this is actually pretty good. You also do see we are playing the Branded Sword in here. A lot more lists have been going towards the Branded Sword as the additional little assister for you. Its job is to really make sure that your deck is able to kind of keep the combo going and keep that pressure on your opponent, which is kind of nice. We do get to see Diabells in here, also helping us out as kind of like a little presenter that we can access. This card can do some very nasty shit, especially if you dump it, Monster Reborn it. Oh boy, yeah, I love forcing my opponent to not play the game. It's pretty good. Next up, we do get to see the first Shaddoll Challenger that I've seen. Now, this is actually really nice, man. We're only going with 2 Lev and 2 Void Unleashing. This is actually kind of nice. You don't actually have to get too crazy with this. We do also have the Neff Shaddoll Fusion built into this. I didn't think there'd ever be a time where I'd be seeing, you know, Neff Shaddoll Fusion actually being playable, but understandably so. Also going with 2 Grista. I guess, to be fair, if you're bulking down too much on the Shaddoll pieces, like, this deck just kind of falls apart. And it's very unfortunate to think about that, because you look at Shaddolls, and I mean, like, this is your best card within the deck, no matter how you want to spin it. And they're only choosing to play 2 of it. There is a way for you to, you know, lock back into these, and you are able to do some really funny things with this. So I do look forward to seeing how this deck's going to do. Also, side decking 2 Shaddoll Fusions, I think, is very fair. Next up, we get to see Triple Aluber. And, of course, this build's going with the Nadir Servant package. I do like Nadir Servant. I think as a whole, Nadir Servant is definitely the way to do this. You got to remember, if you're going to Nadir Servant, you might get yourself cut off, but like, it's not a problem because the deck curves back around. You know, you're able to go, all right, well, I resolved my, you know, stuff. You know, now you just go into the next turn with, you know, Blazing Cartesia ready to go. That's why you play this card. Its job is to pivot you into setup to be able to actually get the deck playing. I know it's such a strange concept, but like, this card actually does good things for the way that the deck wants to perform. So kind of keep that in mind. The reason why the Nadir Servant package is so good is because of Blazing Cartesia. And also, yeah, there it is. There's another copy of the Sin Keeper showing up more and more in these lists. Gotta love that tech trend. And then last but not least, we get to see some Malice. And yes, that is the Radiant Typhoon package. Radiant Typhoon package is actually really good in this deck because it puts bodies on the field. You know what Malice is having problems right now with recent limitations? Putting bodies on the field. I know. It's such a strange concept to see, but, you know, the Radiant Typhoon package gets you 2 bodies set up. You know, you're able to kind of keep comboing on. And it's actually kind of nice, honestly. I do like this. You know, you've got some pretty good innovations to kind of flow through here, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. So what do you guys think about this cool little breakdown? Please, now leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.